Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Willow Spring, there lived a farmer named Elijah. He was a man of simple habits and steady hands. His days were spent under the golden sun, tending to his fields and humming old tunes that his father once taught him. By his side for many seasons was a loyal donkey named Benjamin, a sturdy beast with gentle eyes and a heart that never seemed to tire. For many years, Benjamin carried sacks of grain, pulled carts through muddy paths, and helped Elijah harvest the bounty of the earth. But time, as it does to all, had worn him down. His steps grew slower, his back more bent, and though Elijah still gave him the best shade and the sweetest hay, Benjamin was no longer the helper he once was. So Elijah did what many would not. He let Benjamin roam freely through the meadows. "He's earned his rest," the farmer would say with a soft smile. "Let him taste the wind without a burden on his back." But fate, like a storm cloud on a clear day, strikes without warning. One morning, while grazing near the edge of the field, Benjamin took a misstep. Hidden beneath a patch of wild grass was an old, forgotten well. In an instant, he tumbled down, landing hard at the bottom of the narrow, cold pit. Dust rose, pain bloomed, and then came the silence, broken only by Benjamin's trembling, echoing cries. Hours passed before anyone noticed, but eventually it was Noah, a neighboring shepherd, who heard the desperate brays as he led his sheep near the field. Alarmed, he ran to Elijah's cottage. "Elijah!" he called. "It's Benjamin! He's fallen into the old stone well near the east field!" Elijah dropped his tools and ran, his heart pounding against his ribs like a war drum. When he arrived and peered into the well, his breath caught. There was Benjamin, bruised and frightened, eyes wide with fear. "We'll get him out," Elijah declared. The villagers gathered. Ropes were tied, buckets lowered, but the well was too deep and the donkey too heavy. As the sun began to set, their efforts turned to frustration. Elijah's face, once filled with determination, now sagged with despair. "He's old," someone whispered, "and the well's too narrow." Another said softly, "It might be kinder to let go." Elijah clenched his fists. His mind battled with his heart. Then, slowly, he nodded. "I can't bear to see him suffer," he said, almost in a whisper. "If we can't save him, perhaps we can at least end his pain swiftly." And with that, he gave the unthinkable order: "Fill the well with earth." The villagers hesitated, but out of respect they obeyed. Shovels pierced the ground. Dirt began to fall. At the bottom of the well, Benjamin felt the first cold slap of soil on his back. Confused, then terrified, he cried out louder than ever. "Why?" he seemed to ask. "Why are you burying me alive?" But then, something changed. Maybe it was instinct, or maybe it was something deeper, a flicker of ancient resilience buried in his bones. Benjamin did something no one expected. He shook the dirt off his back, and then he stepped on it. Each time more dirt came down, he shook it off and stepped up. Shake it off. Step up. Over and over. Dirt was meant to bury him, but he used it to rise. Above, the villagers noticed the change in sound. The desperate cries had stopped. In their place was silence, the kind that comes not from fear, but from focus. Elijah leaned over the well's edge once more, and his eyes widened. There, inching higher with every shovel of dirt, was Benjamin, standing proudly atop the growing mound of earth, determined and unbroken. Moments later, with one final push, the donkey leapt out of the well, landing gracefully on the soft grass, muddied but alive, weakened yet free. A hush fell over the crowd, and Elijah fell to his knees. Tears traced the lines of his weathered face. Benjamin did not look back. Without hesitation, he trotted toward the meadow, the wind catching in his ears, the light painting his silhouette in gold. Something inside him had shifted. He had learned what Elijah had forgotten, that being seen as useless does not make one worthless. In the weeks that followed, Elijah often sat by that old well. He would stare into its darkness and wonder how close he had come to burying not just his friend, but a lesson that would shape his soul forever. He realized that life, like that well, can trap us without warning. People may give up on us. They may write us off as too old, too broken, or too late. But what others throw at us, pain, rejection, dirt, can become our ladder if we refuse to be buried by it. He rebuilt the well, not to use again, but to remind himself and all who passed. When the world tries to bury you, shake it off and step up.